All right, welcome back. Of course, it's still TVC Breakfast. Just in case you missed the earlier review of the newspapers, let's now review them again with our senior researcher, Cyril Abako. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you, I can.
All right,
you're welcome.
We'll begin again with the Punch newspaper, Ogun. Imo governor's renewed attack on Oshomole. Party chair has shown disdain for APC, Buhari's interests. That's coming from Amosun. And APC losing almost 5 million voters because of Oshomole. That's also coming from Okorocha.
Well, these governors are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that the candidates, well, in a way they prefer, or the candidates who won at parallel or separate primaries emerge as the as flag bearers for in their respective states. Of course, we all understand the what is up for grabs, or what is really at stake. That as a governor, you are about to leave office and you cannot have a say who succeeds. It's. I mean, I think that in spite of whatever sense of personal fulfillment that you might have as a governor, it brings an immediate anticlimax to everything that you have. So it's a big pain for them.
Even when such person is coming from the same party, you begin to wonder that.
The issue of party again. I think it's primarily an issue of interest. Parties are only vehicles. That's why they tell you that parties don't matter. All politics is local. If the person that is emerging is not the person you prefer, they often have issues.
It's all right. The Daily Trust is next. The big story here, 2019, concerns over scant details on INEC's website. Can the state of INEC's website be a reflection of INEC's preparedness for the next general election?
No, it can't. Do you recall that on the presidential election, the 2015, INEC's website was hacked? If you remember. That's one. Number two is the fact that, you see, I'm glad that a major national daily is making an issue out of this. So we can so we can set an agenda. I, for one, have never hidden my worry over INEC's lack of engagement. There is no engagement with people with Nigerians in a personal, detailed way that can inform voters' choice, that can enable us to know what is really going on. You can't be, and this is not just INEC anyway, many government agencies are like that, but INEC seems to be holding a very sacred mandate, towards Nigerians, and so we must have all information: how many parties are participating in the process, how many candidates are there, which party has nominated. It's not enough that you hold press conferences. If you come to us, you should give us a one-stop shop where we can get everything we know from
all information needed
about the nation's electoral process.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at the New Telegraph. Governor's attack Oshomole. We looked at that before, but new headline: suspended NHI boss sues ministers. NHIs.
Talk about Nigeria and the crisis of honor. I think that, they say if you live in glass house, don't throw stones. I mean, there have been several findings. After the minister suspended him, the president came back and recited him. But if even if Mr. President has not woken up to say that, look, it is only normal important for you to leave, so that there can be proper fact finding for the second time. And what's there to cover up? I think it's just best that he lets us be. But it's okay. It's going to court. This is right. So that we can prove everything we need to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
The Nation is next. The big story here: memories of DSS invasion as Buhari, Daura hold talks. President, ex-DG discuss Boko Haram, others. So everyone is talking about the meeting with the ex-DG and how relevant it is at such a time like this.
We had our reservation. Well, we were saying that we hope Mr. Daura couldn't follow a pattern where in Buhari's absence, someone is sacked and then he comes back. I for one, I don't know. If the man is out, maybe he's out. Nigeria is not in want of people that can deliver on certain critical areas. So, Buhari bringing him back, maybe not as DSS boss perhaps, but bringing him back, maybe for some reason he wants to have some discussions with him. Hopefully, we'll hear more of that in the news in the days to come.
All right, on the Daily Sun newspaper, Shiite security clashes, U.S. demands probe as. Of course, they say that about 1,000 members are missing. That's coming from the Shiite members themselves.
1,000 people. People.
Yes.
We're talking about people here. Interesting figure.
So US is saying it must be probed.
You know, you have to understand that it took a probe, an investigation, for us to realize the number of people that actually died in Kaduna during that confrontation. Again, for one, I cannot in any way espouse what the Shiites are doing. But again, you see, the handling of this whole process, of this whole crisis, is now tending to tilt public sympathy towards them. Because the manner in which government has handled this thing clearly points to the fact that if they are resilient and they are dogged, we might have another insurgency on our hands. We have to say it for what it is, so that people who ought to take the right action will sit up. You don't confront people like this with bullets. What is their grounds? If the courts have said El Zaki should be free, and then you didn't free him, and then he went to court again, the court has said that you're not freeing him is a breach of his rights, and they've also awarded him injuries or damages. You've not paid, and you're still we seem to be creating a problem for the future. I think we need to find a way to sit down and say, how do we handle? You have these pockets of violence here and there. How do we handle? Iron fist should always be the last resort.
It's all right.
There must be a way to look at issues nationally and say, what is the bone of contention and how do we resolve it?
Let's move on from there and see the Vanguard newspaper featuring the same story. But interestingly, Labour shuns federal government talks on new minimum wage. Are we looking at an imminent downing of tools by November?
Now, I will not be
6th?
surprised. You cannot impose a wage on a worker. Not in a democracy, not when the law is clear on how it should be done. When even you yourself, you have had a tripartite, you've had tripartite discussions and you've had collective bargaining, and then all of a sudden, a body unknown to law, the Nigerian Governors Forum, comes up and says, this is what they're going to pay.
It's just that all of us cannot tell precisely what transpired at the level of the tripartite committee, because there are dissenting voices. Labour is saying an agreement was reached. The federal government is saying that we never agreed on a figure.
No, but you see, there is a reason why Ama people will not speak. Because she was the person government nominated to lead this, the process.
And the private sector is also divided.
The labor leader said it on TV that in a confidential memo they sent to the president, some of those things were clearly outlined.
All right, we hope that in the end there will be a middle ground for both sides, so that Nigerians are not thrown into,
I hope so too.
yes.